Into see a Ghana bear crabesha will be a big into Wakwakonya, company be a ombe commence event center. Empress. You see, government is a continuum, okay? So it's not a matter of NDC and NPP, it's the government of Ghana. The government of Ghana is currently building the largest event center in West Africa. It is called the Accra Convention Center at the Ghana International Trade Fair premises, LA. It is going to be a 20,000 seater being built for Ghana by Ghana. Work should have crossed some 70% by now. You read all the literature on it. I can't try to say, work should have been completed and handed back to government by the second or third quarter of 2025. Say second quarter, we are looking at June, July. We're looking at September, October. Built for Ghana using Ghana money. So if you've come to power, okay, and this is the project going at the trade fair, 20,000 seater, and you tell us that we are now going look for another money. The word is to commence a new event center that will serve a larger capacity. I asked myself, where were you? And I had 20,000 seater. And it's for us. And yeah, MPP, and yes, CPP.
So do you think some carbine trade fair or not trade fair?
The president himself knows that if government is a continuum and is talking about large sitting event centers, the Accra Convention Center is a large sitting event center still under construction. So why do you pause that one and say we are going to commence another one? I can go to the phone and read Brofo Waka, to finish when? When a buying Ama will be contracts or see your read the third quarter of 2025. We are in the first quarter of 2026. Munson is a bra. Convention Center no other na wunjuye. A 20,000 seater. Can we complete it? Still under event centers. Empress, if you are a practitioner, of course, and thank God 1, 2, 3, you are all here. And yet they be na your problem. Then they say here large seater. 20,000 seater. And how is it? I told you so. They don't get 20,000 seater. They don't get 20,000 seater. But again, the National Theatre is too small for them. 1,000, 5,000, 6 maximum. Can we get 5,000, 4,000, 3,000? The amphitheaters, we started small across the country. What is the update of those amphitheaters? The update of those amphitheaters, the update of the Accra Convention Center at the Trade Fair, the update of the Marine Drive is the true state of the nation as far as our art sector is concerned. So if I didn't hear some of these things, I wouldn't be happy.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the report that has been laid. I want to start off by quoting a statement that was made by the former Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, at the launch of the NPP's manifesto in 2024. Mr. Speaker, he says that, and this is when he was giving an update on the performance of the Gold for Reserves and Gold for Forex program. He says, I'm happy to say that the two policies that helped rescue the economy from the catastrophe in the recent crisis were the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold for the domestic gold purchase program and the gold for oil program. The pilot has worked for a number of companies, some of which wanted to take Forex out of the jurisdiction. We have thus found a solution to profit repatriation without destabilizing our local currency. He goes on to say that, Mr. Speaker, my government will completely institutionalize what I call the Gold for Forex program, even as we intensify efforts to transform the structure of the Ghanaian economy. Simply put, the domestic gold purchase program is a policy which allows the Bank of Ghana to boost its foreign exchange reserves by buying locally produced gold with cedis. And he goes on to talk about the benefits, including the fact that gold will now become the anchor of the Ghanaian currency. Mr. Speaker, earlier today when we met the Finance Ministry, the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board, we put a question to the governor who was represented by the second deputy governor. Is the policy to buy gold to shore up our reserves, be it in bullion or in Forex, new? And her answer was categorical. She said, no. Mr. Speaker, it is a matter of public record that in 2021, the MPP administration came up with the domestic gold purchase program, which seeks to ramp up our reserves by using CD to buy gold and shore up our bullion reserves, or by using CD to buy gold, trade it for forex, and add it to our forex reserves. Mr. Speaker, if therefore a couple of years down the line, our colleagues on the NDC side come to power and they find this policy useful, they don't need to attempt to rebrand it and give it a new name as a Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy. They don't need to do that. What they need to do is to be candid to the Republic of Ghana and say, we inherited a working program. And probably what we want to do is to build on it. You need candor in economic policy management. Don't try to rebrand it, give it a new name, polish it with some colors, and now create the impression that it is something new that you are thinking about. Mr. Speaker, we asked the government side today what the two pillars of this gold component are. And they told us that they will be using CD to buy gold to add to the bullion, and using CD to buy ASM gold, trade it for forex, and add to forex. Mr. Speaker, that is gold for reserves and gold for forex. You can turn it, you can bake it, you can cook it. It is still the same thing. So, Mr. Speaker, we on this side will support this policy because what they have done is to continue what was introduced by Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, we encourage them that today's voter is sophisticated and understands what's going on. When you introduced the commitment controls, we have commended you that it is actually a good policy. You don't need to go on with this thing where every time settings. Admit it that this is a program you inherited and you are continuing. Mr. Speaker, the second point I want to make is that what this government has now announced as a policy demonstrates the confusion in their circles. A few weeks ago, this government told us that they were of the view that we had so much gold concentration in our reserves, and so they have sold 50% of our gold reserves and converted it into US dollar-based assets. Mr. Speaker, there are questions about that transaction already, the timing, the scope, and the window with which it was done. And already we have filed motions to have that transaction and then the losses on the gold purchase program properly investigated, without prejudice to whatever the outcomes will be. They have now come back to this house that they are asking for policy approval to go and, among other things, buy more gold to shore up our reserves. Why would you sell 50% of our gold reserves only to turn around a few weeks later that you want policy approval to go and buy more gold? And by the way, at the time they sold the gold, prices were around $4,000. By now, it's somewhere around $5,200. So already we have lost about $1,000 an ounce on the quantum they sold.
Honourable member, your time is up.
And I'm going to say 10 cities, 5 cities. He said, they are 10 years my soul. I never boy. And if that's money, I 2 years more than them from the end. Patch your master.
All right, Charlie. The Mamuni na kwaba ba another edition of Political Zone. Baby, I show me free be. I hope so. Hoye, Mr. Mehoye pa. Yami adaro ma mehoye. Dia mesra one say obe share page na mame. Se o share me sabria na weja comment. Say de be ya me to me every be. Say o adventure and also ubit me the aba. Ewo topic I maybe discuss no home. And then Wednesday, you better nyamiase. The edikane no meda nyamiase say wabo yi na ye ho ban na boni ni musu biara antoye. Na techremada bodwiem mojedi mu afurusane uhu me na mehu. Mempai Bonne said the Dawa Komaso. The Emma Wujina Swa. What about me live so? When you're man in Remuma. My can say, you know. Now me then you say for the life of your flag bearer, the waistcoat of Ghana politics, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You better obey the as say what born whole buying because it is na say evacuate on a mame oba penny Hajia Samira Ifri Kata Doha. Nyamiada Roma information yes we are to me and we are privy to ne say Wamhoye Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on any hokeni Hajia Samira Bawumia omu safe and sound. Yeah, say omu kodi jumebi kura ewa Saudi Arabia sana yenya nti no. Enu nti ebede nyame ase se otumi ebo omo ho ban na ebia bibi boni ebia nankese se eba no entumi amba yetumi edi omo afiri ho successfully aseda enkenyame medasi wi a na medasi esoma the two living presidents, former presidents, the two living former presidents of our dear nation. The Deacon, His Excellency John Ejikun Kufuor, Nakopon Inshirao onto Kwandem. Na Aba Miame Papa Adudi Kwekwa Budani. Also Nakopon Inshirao non shira ufie for. Na ontonko sumpejao enko adumu. Infra dum kwadum kese pemu na osompa ene nnwuma pa obeye de ma Ghana no yehu na yente ase na ochina eba ne se yenkoto aba ha yetumi ahu de enti ayeto aba na yeto aba so ensunsuanso a ewo ene nti mesere nyame nhira ede mamo ene mofiefu nyina wie ne sa na medenya me ase ema MPP minim se eka binumu a nanka ejadem nanka debia yebetena ha na ye coronavirus new cases nanso onyame enam kwan bi so ekoso a adom yen ekoso a papa ti bomu kakrakra sometimes you can say if ya sebe ntawantawa kra nim no na kire se odonim enye den ya yakoye nipa idie ntawantawa beba yanso ni na mu no nyame aboye ho ban ema MPP eda so ti ase antimechia executive se wo ho ni na mechia won so a omoboa ema party ni gina brane ka grassroots obi a play whatever role ema MPP to me gina brane no usire nyame nhira edema. Most importantly mo amojebre na mo de behwe Felix appear political zone. Some of you has been with me since 6 years near, and it's been an awesome time. I've always enjoyed, and as a DBA manager say me bana bitumi enemo ebe dwendwene neama ho ntino medamo ase. Now and there say utie news ya ekoso ewiye mu a yes ya papa Ibrahim Mahama wakoto new jet na Mrs. Ankofo inangasa omo kasa amentiasi o yes wakoto new jet na Ghana foni bi etikwa pai ene ibedi sa jet no ho nkomo, but I don't think say it should be a surprise to anybody say Ibrahim Mahama akwakoto jet. However, the ayenye beye wa ha ne say ye bedwene ensem bi a abrantie bi a ye friend Raf Rafi Sabio say uyi oni ya koko difference ye wo mu a na eno ne say ya koko ni nsuo to na sa wo ba osho de no osho ba na obi a pese woro no no se awode no eno nkwa ne difference ye wo ya koko etim ya koko ya making ekuro bi a ye friend senase a wo eastern region e ho na no wo mo pese mu hu se the American ye no kre ana ye no kre no my mom reference. Uni mobi or what's nasi be a movie and say one and a friend Yakuku on the catch. Now Ralph Nack can sim be a sebu and never said that to me boy say me bono 11111. And measure that bono 1111 said the bear you bet to me a breaking in that down. Nayama a tea for 80 so a hunidia air the air co. Until you ever talking about that. Then also I would like to play something like this, and then that is where I will start from. I want to start from our upcoming registrations. Oh, yo. Oh, madam, sorry. Me, I thought, say, about Anka me be you cry, Anka mama, where you cry.
Briefly on Dr. Baumia, Nihajia,
me patrol you. So, yeah, please go ahead.
And yeah, say I can't want them now, Obi Uncle Twisted Facts.
Exactly.
Every say, Yawadano. Yawadana, Dr. Baumia free Ghana. With the intention so on Saudi Arabia. Someone winning said, almost 3 years near your soul. Your soul elections, Musa, make up from 2023 all the way till now on shedding your point.
Yeah.
Every year, a baby some cobon pie. Now, oh, shit, we do our own team in Conti. I've seen Yamia do my way. No, I plan to say on a Hajiabeco. No one cobon pie and Nasi Empire name. Why we need Muslim Thursday no free here. Now call with Qatar Airlines.
Okay.
Qatar Airways. It's a Qatar, there's only some Mefadoha.
Me patrol.
Doha now mobile transit to Saudi Arabia. And I said CAT.
Oh.
It's the whole Doha airspace was closed.
Yes, true.
And I'm when in Sasa Airlines, no hospitality. They took care of all their
passengers.
Everybody, passengers, no. They were all well taken care of. In the free Doha. Saudi Arabia. Me sure say by now we do Saudi Arabia. Nyame bought you. Obekome kanu akobon empire. Na me say nyame boa fiada. Meaning so fiada obe free Saudi Arabia. Meaning so on headed towards the UK. Sana meti.
Okay.
That's what baby fee. And now obi busa no.
You
have a chobia and rescue no.
You.
Ghana by Encore Rescue. One country will be outside the watching no him to hear rescue.
Good.
In any case, Ghana by Encore Rescue, and then nobody can rescue the plane. I'm fine. And see, Miss Samoa, outside where on the actual bonting said he was evacuated. Evacuated with what?
You. Thanks for that.
If I told Bianco evacuating, I sent two nipa no being assemble two the same thing. So bomb the bell 2-3 days.
Okay.
They will do her. They are well Omoye. Omokako bomb umpire. Yamibwa or Fiada free Saudi Arabia. No more head they either home or to the UK. And it sound common
okay. No, try answer. Based on that same way, I want to ask something. You have been following politics for some time. And your media space, they have now the news agency put such stories out. First and foremost, Ghana Media Commission and Ghana Journalists Association, do they audit these news firms now? Because when you put out things like that also countermounts to what we call false publication, and then causing fear and panic, because so be the doctor and that's what say in our bad or also so what I say. Meanwhile, that is not the actual thing on the ground. So why hasn't government in, government out dealt with this issue? Say a news agency like Joy News able to make their same say at home, and now that are not the fact, and there is still no punishment. There is still no just a cassetia be part and say be a better say there be and crowd doesn't come from any. Why has it been so? Other than it is
I find it difficult to answer. No questioning am I'm so when you are no Mani Fatine Mustafa Hamid honorable omuno betimi achreche because omuno mo aye adwuma wo for quite as ministers until they know how these things work. But if any misinformation, someone so be a person or yes sensational. That is one. Number two, mamu remfisa aban the ho actually no. Aban to a bad press no anu aye de ne bi na waboyi. Say you to na president ni as makoto jet. Aye bad press. Yeah. Eti me sure so mu nyina mo try say ombepe bibi a ebeyi attention. Every bad press, okay. And the president's brother, Papa talk, Lena, and also questions the Brew. Yeah, I say, and Tokoya, I'm not about me, and Papa Cado Hay. Tokoya, but in the prices, full prices in Paul Much, and beer and check. I am what my country and there, or a Muntina, I watch it. 18, a minus should try. Your baby has also paying attention. Dr. Baumia is the leader of the opposition. It is the leader of the opposition. You catch us and one question will be. I think I many or today will be uncommon once will be uncommon.
Sanity.
And into a young say Dr. Baumia and into the communication team in the 8 in Iowa. And into a young man from Manfasha, young speeder. You do baby, say you to be the Baba catch them say, and yes, sir. Baumia, the Qatar Airlines in the 2 point.
Okay.
Qatar Airlines, no, if you don't have, they want you only free.
Wow.
I want to come home. Country now, Gaza. They say just don't have capital.
I know I capital na Qatar near the main country. No,
Qatar is a country.
Oh, Qatar.
Qatar Airlines. Or your transit. Or when we
Doha, yeah, yeah.
Doha, na. You don't have funny inside for the ones in sea. You close the airspace.
Okay.
But that's how you all other passengers of here. And then you may we're free.
Doha.
What could do Saudi Arabia? Okobon Empire. Now say we're Simuaba. Yam play NDC may you should Dr. Baumia and Fama may diversion. Dr. Honye Empire Bonokoboye.
Okay.
As a bomb pie.
Okay.
Medase.
You medase Medan so otherwise be clarification or the iodine or the aba asemu we mu. NDC they said I'm back and ne home komoka crani bedin ha. Na answer na no mesre say me patro ya start registration. So we ye MPP ni mapa na oje MPPD say MPP ba o mine ho to ne dia. Mesre say registration I start na fa ho shame. Constituency be our members and for message me. I want to know where I can register. Me patro a polling stations are auto about I believe so. The honor omo true dino. Mesre ebio so no. You will need your ID. I don't know. Sister Ellen Patro or a bit information about that. Me Patro and registration.
2 times.
Okay.
2 times.
Okay. Polling station.
Okay. But MPP sympathizer.
Okay.
Sani Pano, Obetia walking into any MPP constituency office, regional office, national office.
Okay.
No one control within, say an MPP member. Diaspora also bet me about no I bet you also diaspora.
Yeah.
No I journey why order for the party card.
Okay.
And no. And I 1 year party near break. Stay on polling stations, if I say your way juma. Sandy panel and I miss me encourage you in answer munyebi. Mamunya ordinary party members.
Yeah.
So your ordinary party member there. Why not? Put me right in party office then no I go through obi ampamo. But when you bring up so we are part of the reorganization, we are part of the party. That should be a composition be our person who elections are. Baby, I would say, baby, I would to Abba. Baby, I would to Abba. Ufa voters ID now, polling station also. Yanina also.
Okay.
Baby, I would to Abba. It is our polling station. Our polling station, MPP secretary and MPP chairman.
Yeah.
Naturally, it's a party.
Okay.
We MPP, you person who throw within your polling station. Now I come meeting, on my meetings, see this whole week, I'm say baby. No I meeting, no I throw with him. No I making sure so we didn't know what polling station registering. If you say yeah, polling station elections now, we didn't polling station register anymore.
To
me, you know, was our polling station. If you say a time we free work, now we talk about her. Now only Munti, Chairman and call for one, or who fear with him. And then fear who free me.
So.
Because polling stations are very, very localized. And to me, you say me wrong when she. Now me call Faru polling station. Omuni mbefia me free. Omuni.
Yeah.
You come here, you be away to move on. You say, I'm a
Hano. Okay.
Actually, I'm not
A democrat.
Almost at your polling station elections. I mean, to be coached now as a chairman.
Yeah, because we didn't work polling station anymore.
Because we do.
Because we didn't polling station. Yeah.
The electoral area elections you do have it to be coached now. Constituency do have it to be coached now.
Yeah.
Region do have it to be coached now. National do have it to be coached now. If you say we deal with polling station,
correct. Correct.
I'm not your party, Obia winning some for position, especially polling stations, electoral area positions. Because our polling station, now control within. Usually, baby, I would to waba, and now baby, I would say, I wouldn't say, hey, police station MPP for a war, then it's too difficult to find. Now, control within electoral commission be able to say any transfers. No, what transfer within the film, baby, up saw the battle. Now, what the other. Patroni American Swati. The same process, Omudu, diaspora and so the same process, and Mush Mubefem.
Okay.
It's who fell, so making sure yourself, diaspora, baby, I want. Baby, I want to abandon.
Yeah.
Baby, I want your member who would do a war or register.
Okay.
That was why you'll be at no credit and moon yam and your party. You can still be a member.
Yeah.
And walk into any party office.
Yeah.
In fact, I said it's almost one with the short code to be clear about you can even register.
Yeah.
Online,
yeah.
They are not sure buying that one thing. I don't know not just all your ordinary
party member. Okay.
The polling station, yeah.
Okay.
Can we sell control bet you would use?
Yes.
I'm saying this is a year to go and watch here. That's it.
You, my sweet sister Ellen Amadeko, for the explanation. And until for Mesho bien kunai. Moamuti mi firikede, Miss Ramo, a few way, Monkotro Mudin, Emma MPP. Wow, shed ya Ekoya, Abe, Accra, Sebe Yang, Yehodi and Cabeni, Didi home, and there Monsha de Omama, Yabena, then aye. Was going to me koye nwa na ngune besu ewu nyatofo ene enu ni so ayesu areho a akuafo a ewo Ghana ema Ghana gina AD no enya areho keto a no ntine mesre moma yenkoturo yedin na yentumi embo ye homoden na nyame ya adomo a 2028 yemfa sa ahoden no sa force no emfa nkota His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia MPP echi na yempamon krofo ya for the second time oma chere Ghana for say eba na memwu di a omonya de eba na memwu a omumbu meka na sa no na we dey meye small e bi keke me pa cho ye elections ye bekoi what we are looking for is a formidable force and I say a nine ding 1 year womo to mean opepa say omubi to me aye juma edi amaye adani de ni na ya na meka no me api so say the fact say me Felix me pe amafosu de kono nkyere say udi meti a also compare amafosu de kon I believe say esunobi ani ne ti and esunobi ani the way a odwene ne ama hofa ofosuya Matthew ofosuya ofosuya de comment you me da say it doesn't necessarily mean say also fan. So whoever you believe in, no, you do your best to campaign for them and make sure say it goes so. But me person me a notable mention ewa ha nchia kese pa enkoma the incoming general secretary of NPP Henry Kwabena Kukufu na saying Oshana why hot to media no so pa obeti a radio station ha ye TV ha ne ade okobia so a onwu animo ase na no pa me hwe no adom na one honorable aka na na ewo ho na ohwe ne dexterity a ode church and say more na say Kukufu is a typical communicator who can revamp the communication atetia pansam ewe ye MPP mu a say social media for a mobile boy yen na chesanka MPP sabi your communication no kura de ye hunu de esie mekai say ebere bi a etwemo ye mpani bi ene joy there be GH1 for ekudi nkuta ho sa question by na nini na be gina so say dia communicators ni bebre shia yen na say ishia omo na omo kanu na ye no say the communication wasn't properly how do you call it financed. Now Sister Ellen is part of the communication. Intimate person maybe no certain things. And yes, Anka maybe no how the situation of financing of them, Kasama Party, how it has been handled for all this while. Chairman Kukufu said, or the son 25 years experience, or the atana communication, mono, or the ba, the ababe some a year MPP amanu a kui. Say a share ne bravado, even with the media. As a general secretary, no, as I say, we know be a utumi kasa, ubi a utumi vibrant, ubi a se okasa, utumi ko, and ubi a onye somebody easily to back down. And say Oshe Kukufu times waba politics more or their communicating na he has shown say ebano on the media na omontem very good, and he can leverage on sa ibu na media no ewademano no Sebio to leverage the agenda of the MPP party. And you know, he's calling and he's asking, say a so say ye kotwa bana delegates who are mobeto sa ba no making sure say monfa party no ento makoma so kane monhu ni say baby ayedro dia ekoso ye ni onyamo a Sebio yetena ho ma yedinunu gotemu ebrebi no and then nyamia dawroma media dibia meka. I think the rebirth of MPP started at the mosques and also at the church when His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia went to thank God for winning the primaries for the MPP. Oko mosques ho share the enthusiasm in nipe puba ho na okosha sorry them muso Sunday no dey see ya na say party no yes nkakrakra eba eno nti ehia wo mo a mbetumi abeden ebeso adwuma nimu na omo ayo me pa cho de ame ka obi betie mi America ne say empanifo ni bebere a yekoto omo so aba no ye de obia wo wa ye de adwuma ye den ye de adwuma hye ne nsa eno nti no moma ye misa say adwuma no ayeyie sabe na obi na ewo each of the positions are yes standing for no enu nti ebetwe say onipa yeyi no ene de ede ne ba ye ne adwuma obeye na chen de yeyi no na ana say enchen na watumi agina so de ayeden e de make a choice but me de for general secretary ne de I have settled on Dr. Henry Kwabena Kukufu Esquire for his in-depth knowledge on geopolitics of today. Funny enough, with his age and everything, or you so Gen Z oriented, say in the race, so far he is the Gen Z candidate in terms of how we're all running the operation, setting up a website, putting information on the media for people to get access to and all of that, being visible to the camera so the youth that probably didn't know about him can know more about him and get to know him more. The only thing the other day in America is I think he needs to let people know who he truly is more, apart from because politics there, I believe say baby I didn't 2 year biano or boy juma. Last and na make say be say last no this week Monday no na make say me say adenti na MPP na say ye kwa abato a de bia ye twen say bantama votes beba sa say me mama hwe delegate bia ade na ye koye no ye pe womo a womo agin hini womo anim wonyam a womo tumi kasa ekodwom na ye de womo akọ tie ni ye ebra na chairman Kukufu chairman wa bantama for 2 terms no. We used to call his constituency then the Florida. Florida. I didn't hear because MPP for train say Florida votes beba. Because when Florida votes comes, not just a year parliament and as a year presidency. And this same Kukufuya and ne ye pese ye catch ye say or more bra on you be on call baby ada we fairly and say crowd ya mekote yes jama scandal be EP inso scandal na yante ye call public accounts committee mo ye ni na ye video me be born ha omu praise ne say a good stewardship Kukufu bo adwuma e wo EP omode ne call ye nenso ebinom say scandal bi kopie mu ye twan so omode sa scandal ne be ba betu dwa na ye ni na ye hu no ebinom say na onya juicy appointment obi a okọ ya sebio okọ EP ho no na adwuma esese sebi ekoso kra no na enko so ho but me no eno no ye governance nti eno hia me pese me hwe ne party adwuma waye de nti American fu Kukufu de ama obi a o make na yet no de nti American fu sebi Kukufu ama no or you be a waye polling station executive da waye constituency executive da regional executive da why like in terms of national, in terms of MP, where the MP da. So what I say, and I don't think say bantama for a to abadema Kukufu say uncle representative more parliament, and I say bantama delegate here a year Kukufu chairman for 2 terms, and the Serbian predia samanu susumina so na oma jene ejimi, and now one nimunyansa say Kukufu nyobia Kukufu mbo number Kukufu ntumi ejuma yes ye de waba yes sign the wakubiu. As near Pian crowd the work or the parliament. Enunti mesre Chairman Kukufu ejuma ye de share nensa as chairman, and every political party is looking for a vote. The amepese ojeji Chairman Kukufu ne say oye nipa obewo na inform so mimi nimbi ebi awusu nimbi. That is not what we are looking at. Yentre positives and also that's the positive outweigh the negatives, and that is how we know say you're a good candidate. Yet the constituency share and for 2 terms. Nini na would deliver the Florida vote. Bantama vote, eba soro ema to me the yeden, to me the babemu. When Kukufu was the what? When Kukufu was the chairman of Bantama. Now, since ya oba parliament, so obey parliament here, Jumano, and this is by the records. After him, we have had 2 MPs. A year unyamimfa ni currency honorable Ochem Abuaje when yan baby ko ene ye mebra me onokra as a benen be pa na obenya chem kakra but oweni mu wi as a chem in life ye asenso boache e bae. Now one thing about bantama me science esua ye ne say ye constituency bi a omo repeat candidate, so meaning why that dynamic is there. And Oko back in history, Krana, Ubia ni bantama utumitana bantama more than 2 terms. Wakwa koswa also with the wakwa and 2 terms near change you. Okay, so lawyer Kukufu became excuse me to say the face of Bantama's election. Nashade in parliament. The numbers here or they call say party for a motion and penny for a muti me. Some mobeka no cry. Number unya ya papa chamabuaje and to me and yasa number no our parliament. Figures na making. Nipa dodoa ipubeto abama Kukufu as the MP no. And yet the same amount and a koto aba edema a year ye papa ochema boaje a wanya ne baby ko. Funny enough, ye papa senso boache kra na wabe the star boy of Bantama. Ni 2 times ya odiako parliament ni na no vote ya Kukufu nyaye edeko parliament is higher than the asenso boache nyaye. Even though the asenso boache adwuma wabe yo, but be CBC party office ni na dia mom e dia share constituency na nyunya. You understand? And unti obia apart from sa edwuma no was serve on regional financial head I'm like committee where to elections committee chairman and all these other party machines are yedi ahye Kukufu nsa se Kukufu ko hanna ko hwe so obetumi ayema na yeyi a etumi akoyema na yeyi yede na ba abemu na okwa abemu wenko wieska utie wenko wieska o wanko fahwe nkrofo grabo niama nkrofo fansa ase ne ade no oso ono de dia yede ma no eye na katua enu nti eno nko aho duma ena obedie enti ampa we free abemu ya public account committee office ya yede Kukufu share NDC for a bar who be taking over mobile bo Kukufu abaso se Kukufu aye adwuma. He's one of the praised MPP for yede omokoye CEOs no ya one of the praised people are NDC ni MPP for ni na bo na abaso say in fact Kukufu ba ye no wakoye adwuma me pacho onye nipa jenjan Kukufu onye nipa jenjan kwesi pi no to ne nwum bi so unua ne me anka wo mpeme unua ne me anka wo mpeme ede ebe ankura ne nte ede yi eden or time bebrebe minu mienu ni na ye papa ne Kukufu anka ye pe ye meme ni na sebi atumi awo ahwe ye ma edu baabi ebinum kura wi a omosenye ne ye nanso ena ye tuwe unless sa afi na guest bi beba beka se Kukufu ne menyem ya wanje but dia yen nimu de wahwe ne mani nara ama omuni na aso abobra ye po bi owo character ye po bi owo zeal ye po bi owo nimde ne accolades ne niam ekura no ne ni subanye ati ne mu ne principled behavior ne disciplinarian behavior eye good for the party MPP ono na mekanfo na ma ebre no so na se obeto aba to aba na Kukufu na ontumi embedi general secretary na omwa na ye party no enkonani madam ase na second part Sendra me ye live bi me promises anka me de nia me bi be kire the American say wa we ye me supporter wa oye madamfo wa oye me listener na ebia Endra uhu me in a different light be a one pen me nipa me form so a bema a me ye no esese mesre boniface enu nti say bia udi machi na we some people were saying disappointed that normal say obey disappointed, but that does not change who I am and the principles I stand for. And I just want to say this is not to apologize for anything because God knows the videos are there. I didn't say anything bad about anyone. However, I just want to put it out there. Say more me fans, more me now for me. One way or the other. No one person can move who say banter be crack or so me page so I call you know me page. So I take responsibility for that. Again, me science wa patrol bio because Endra me program no me who say na I say encrophobia ebe so ana me namfufu bi ana say political commentators here be aye wa he bi be so na omomo submission. Initially I thought it was some mere thing, but later on I was told to say it is an ongoing beef be a ekoso and me page no na ebe pie also and nti se mu hu se me dum me live na me dum live no because na me mpese obi beba so na wabeka bibia kotia obi na ebia onipa obekwa akoka no na wankoka ne yie na akofa asem fofraba and nti na ma Endra me dum light live no Ibrahim who said na things were getting heated and they said beya yenkudidi obi atem ane mate minim say enamoframem ensempi nanso yene me akasa one ye domie one kra end domie. To be funny enough Obi to make us say, me Felix, me your fan, but I deal with them. Mr. Found crown kumukra. Now we are too big for that. And funny enough, Andra so me who me worth on these platforms. Andra mami who me mudro and now me wait. Ewo a year platforms are a way so. And to be honest with you, I was really touched by the countless messages here. Kofu Bibri send me and Sir Felix or the do you say what want and hunti again I would say I am not going to pay any mind to whatever agenda that is being pushed in place. I believe last Wednesday I did say some things here and I never mentioned nobody's name. Lastly, never have I stood anywhere, okay, to say, make we see appear, me musika $45,000 at the ma Dr. Bawumia, me patro men cancer or baby ada. What did I say? The American say, we have all helped one way or the other. Now say if you think the only way to be recognized and I said Juma is to maybe do your type of communication, I know. But I spent 8 months in Ghana. Those of you who are here, this is what I said because I was misquoted. So I want to clear that and then we move on. Say I handed that money to Dr. Bawumia. It is never true. I never said that. I talked about my 8 months in Ghana, campaigning all over, including my constituency, Gomoa West, which evidence is there to show, following the second lady and the man himself on certain places, things that I had to spend, places that I had to sleep, all those and people that I had to spend money to whatsoever. It cost me that much. And I actually realized it when my thing was sent to me, when my statement was sent to me, and I noticed what has actually been spent. I have the screenshot of it here, or I have it here. However, not to fuel anything or not to start anything, I have decided to park anything that has to do with that conversation off the limit. 2, whoever I give an opportunity to come on this platform to talk, I will plead with you. Moving forward, I plead with you people. Moving forward, please do not come on my page to mention anybody you have a personal vendetta with on my page. The uni obi ewo entokwa, uni obi wontokwa da debia. I believe we all have platforms. Mama injina sa ade so. But also what I say, Mama injina sa ade so. Na yen kwanko solve no abonten. We should not use the platforms we get to destroy or say ill and even lie to the extent of lying on others, all in the name of give the dog a bad name and hang it. Intimacy. Oba mi page so they are a dahwa ye kan ho asem utumi kan bi. Sendra obi kobo wasumo page bi so na went to me and reply no ho a enya mi page so ena saade ni besi. And hunti ena endra eban sa afei su bio we come me moderators efri neko mesremo obia onye consistent member, especially TikTok has say obia onye consistent supporter of political zone mesremo say time ni do say ye fan crofo ebeka sa do your best not to bring them up. Yesterday, something happened whereby I picked somebody I thought was all nice. We are all lovely. Only to find out, say, the person came, stood on the platform, recorded what was being said, and sent it. And later on, I walked in on the live. They were using that same information to go against each other. I don't want that to happen on my page. from today going, the page is back in full effect, doing what it was meant to do. And that is to let Ghanaians know the bad leadership of NDC and the good policies that had advanced Ghana of MPP. That is what I stand for. That is what I'm pushing. If you have any personal stuff, cool. If what I'm saying doesn't sink in well with you, say the American or enya wo de na enunti so ubi decided say Felix Okra me nkoni page subiwa, that is also welcome. I believe we have other wonderfully talented speakers on this app that we can all go and support. So one Felix here, and no interest why you bonnet, there be only a bonnet. You just don't want to watch Felix. Nobody should force you say by force go Felix when there are other varieties and options. Because you might not like maybe what I'm saying. I'm not here to say everything that will suit you or make you happy. There are times I will say things that you won't be happy with. But that is how we are able to build. Just as iron sharpeneth iron, so does the countenance of a man sharpens the countenance of his fellow. Nobody is bigger than anybody. Nobody is mightier than anybody. Each of us has individual skills that set us apart from the rest. I would advise you to find your own, invest in it, and let it work for you. These are the most important things I would want you as my supporter and my follower to start working with. Thank you. All right, so eneme baya na aseda maybe me aseda ifri makumemu ekoma His Excellency the miracle worker, the man with the magic wand, John Dramani Mahama Excellency. Nyame adawroma sisi menya Mahama no munua no mba na baako a mekọ ware no sisi ni de ye jiskana kofie sisi mekọ ware Mahama fie ho enu nti nyame so aya adom ama sabio mense no ye sikafui ye se ye nyame hwe kura as a matter of fact jollof ne ade a ye be no ani nara wo mo afa hoka eno no enya ade a eda fom kura enu nti mesre se efiri na kwei koku akuafo yesremo why munsusunsu yesremo afi ne yato jet no nyame ya adom a ye beto ship ne wi a na ya pekwan a ebetumi atua moka mesre wo mamo mesema ware koku akuafo munya isu teacherfo munya isu na mo se bisika no ebakora na eduane na modeto enti munya isu na make comment nim no na the miracle worker for my family, my new to be or soon to be family, the Mahama family. Nyame aye adom ama ye de another milestone and I say another huge asset the aka ebusuano esika ho enche bia na mobeka the miracle worker John Dramani Mahama ebo modern echinchim azuma company nsa nkakrakra na oma atoforsen ni ti ho kwabo ne space se media mediti hey ebo modern ekoje $100 million wo bra ni yentua nurse fo ka yentua teacher fo ka na yedema Ibrahim Mahama se won fa nkogbo apu no fa nkodi ewu na won kwaje nkrofo property emfimfiri wo monsa emfa mre yen ampa sisi yaje sa voter black voter base no yaje ediama ebusua anyame ya adomo a next month me ko warim the Mahama family na eno enso hwa samohwa ene abobo ya enshedam fiscal maybe ntino sese no yede yeni asi excavator so sa wo beka ya ebra na MPP wo power no na yen NDC for the aye kan say eye excavator no kra na ebetumi a yen ba ne meboa ane enti no na ye ka say eye kan MPP for embane excavators in Ghana ampa ye ba yi nyame adaworoma Ibrahim Mahama a ono so eye miankasa miracle worker president John Mahama nua watumi akra bebre aba mende eye excavator ayefo excavator ayefo endra ye the videos bi kra send brem from Volta region e ho na me yem start say sheme first na me dream say news keke basa na ye galamsey wo Volta region insuo kakra na eja omuyimu nam adodi ni ade echi bi mayen asebe etumi edebo ye bra no NDC for eba ye ende Oko Volta regional galamsey jinem na ye waha ena ye papa Ibrahim oto jet ba akobi enche bia ode kan ne dada jata bi na ewo ho no nti obenya 2 jets enamenu sunti ye president a mekoware ne baba ako ana mekoware ni fie John Dramani Mahama ebe yes saade a ode Ibrahim Mahama plane ene bitu kwai yehuni ni na Mahama yobi a ho se opo bi a oya wanwade a ebura adwene ne ntiase so a John Dramani Mahama me patro mo tapo screen so na mo share wa mo TikTok no obi a ne miracle ebura adwene ne ntiase so John Dramani Mahama ya wa na yesi ya chikokain yesi cocaine na aduane bibia ye boni bia no tumi ma ne yira na is it 2 weeks ago anameboa I might be wrong but I forgot the actual entire bia ena His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kuruya Ninua ye friend Ibrahim Mahama yini na ye bon nsem no se sebio obon homoden ewo the way a o critic niama edema Ghana ene nnuma o critic edema Ghana. Now we as a family of Mahama decided that apart from say yenua Mahama ana yebra penny Mahama ebe yusu private jet no, we also decided say the driver and need on brother no and driver no as president and the driver ye hwehwe and on kodanche ye wahana NDC for beka kire say ye ni ska ye betumi dia fan crofo adwuma ma na ye de betu yan crofo ka se mokaya 2025 His Excellency John Dramani Mahama could read the State of the Nation's address or could read the budget on behalf of Atoforsen on behalf of the president. And on Mokachre say, Sike Nioma enimu Ekufuado wa employ obia enunti se mo Ghana for mo to abadema NDC na NDC ba 2025 wa obefa mo adwumam. Ye handing over notes and a kwabra minta kandonum ekoye press conference kachire yen Ghana for ni na say oh eyampa omo de ye campaign say na nadu amfanes for adwumam but omo ba ye no omo abehu say there is an overlock and I say over employment. Yes, that's the word they use. Say na nadu na ye say one fairness for adwumam no wa over employed dodo. And ontumi ye den ontumi employ for the 2025 and unti announce for nya abotrema no na 2026 obefa mo adwumam. This was the promise of NDC. Announce for ni bi say ya kira ade sorry ya ye adwuma ye ntu ayeka me da say ya ye adwuma ye ntu ayeka eno hunti muntua yeka the same akando ebaye ebeka se ontumi entua se nti no omomomo 2026 na omubetua momo. This is what they told them. Na omo den trobinam na saying obi be exhibit wo how do you call it, one of the platforms. So one kasawo budget statement o ministers o president ka say mo ayentua amoka no ye betua amoka the next year. Na what time I communicate bi abeka kire we say oh there be o omo order than the obi asika ko me patron you obi asika na ekokos ya be demonstration say yensan kan ya ketua omo anka say yensa enka ye stipends and I say I mean how do you call it incentives so nya no mo kan ye adwuma wo mo aye na 11 months aye ntua omoka 12 months aye ntua omoka. Okay, that is what these nurses who came about was telling us. Now here, a teacher for us to say in Tiomoka. Almost all government workers are crying, saying Tiomoka. Kuku ekriafo ekem. And guess what your president continues to do? Sell the assets of the country. His special purpose vehicle. For those of you who think say a joke, Sabe Ibrahim Mahama no. Okoka na omebiji now. She and Ibrahim Mahama and engineers and planners and the mining one of the top. More country when Ibrahim Mahama's mining started becoming big in this country or in this part of the world. Ibrahim Mahama. More country before President Kufuor came. And even after President Kufuor, who actually gave him his first start at life, left, what was the state of Ibrahim Mahama? But His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has formed a special purpose vehicle to steal, loot monies for himself. Okay? Mr. Mahama, the way you are now, he's so smart. He said, "Onimukwanya ye fasu wieska ekataso." Onim de Jamaica sa. Mo kai say ye koto plane airbus ya. Ye pe special purpose vehicle no. John Mahama ya kofa ninu ya friend Samuel Adams Mahama. E man ko form company. Obi a uncle Legonda. Ye man Legon for certificate. E man Ghana passport. Obi o ye UK citizen. E man ko form a company a yedege 5 million euros at the bread of Mahama. It is not new. Ibrahim Mahama Jata Cement started 2021. Obi anko check it. 2021 anaduna wa bemu. As a matter of fact, Alan Chemante was part of the people omuko jinawa the omo commission inside Jata Cement no. And in the speech of Ibrahim Mahama, he acknowledged that the incentives are as a result of one district, one factory, because one district, one factory, and yes, he can't go on edition. Ebi owa port no oba niama odi be fra ma no ne dia be ye company no yete so ma wana say ye de ma free. Ebi owa taxes say utua no ye ma 5-year tax free incentives. Ibrahim Mahama nankasa, go and read Ibrahim Mahama's statement 2021 when he launched Jata Cement. Inti Ibrahim Mahama is not somebody we don't know. Now, Wabeka Chere say, or you're so super rich to the point saying the business is calling you. In any case, how long have they been in office? So are they telling us for the 1 year no mobile office in Ibrahim Mahama to me a page as an Debbie? It is not a binder than a bonnet. How was Ibrahim Mahama's business able to strive and stay afloat, to even make profit, to even be counted as one of the biggest companies in Ghana? Think about it. Ebrana na buying ewoso, Ebrana ne brother, president 2013, no. No, I must say a buying a power. Now, so Ibrahim Mahama and me in the companies. Apart from engineering and planners, why not know him. A buying a buying tantain and now a buying him. Ibrahim Mahama is able to build factories, building this. What does that tell you? But what I want to center my point on and say, John Mahama adani ninu Ibrahim Mahama, a special purpose vehicle. And na odiwia Ghana ska wo kwan nyansa kwan so. Oya no we yi nanim de ahye ninu no, ninu no. Oya osi o ninu no, no we yi de ahye nanim. And omode boka na krono. Na mebo video. Na through the video no. Media yem fan to ho na media answer abranti a friend Raf. Miwia wa opese obem no. Obetimi aye den abem. This Ellen answer na mebo video na starting no obibi kan ana mento aso. This Ellen. Okay, I'm saying Ellen are you busy? Okay. Enti wa winning. Yes, madam. Na me bisa say obibi kan sa na my program na because yo me pacho you ene pacho you assume na tea na de eba no wo abrantie I pa abrantie bi amate say so e wadam for pa almost open asem tu e say a friend Raf the Ghanaian citizen sorry I would be at them and then you Abrantie Rafi se obekaya Oliver Baker the recruit two no the neka ejuma John Mahama pese oye MPP time. Abrantie we se galamse ikosuma ohun bida enu nti oma obiba ewuye ewo 37 ewo bra se sanka kola no koje ayaresa. Abrantie se krono ayabo wo cathedral there on bida and they want to say oka cathedral so cause no he doesn't even want to talk about the cathedral. Adentia oko huri se ponko asebe ya sano foforo ewo cathedral barrier ye de asisu so na fuck shit no ono akasa ne president se cathedral ne yendiska na attorney general se cathedral no obi a bibia anyere aye enu nti nanim aguase ontumi nka bio na we ni na no I blame the citizens of Ghana, especially yene a yenim nyansa yatena wiase a che kakra na wo benya papa panin toto sabiom preduasa 56 years 66 years say Raf ne do e word pound Raf ne do e word adentia cause Raf didi nanado papa panin atemunti no eye ne de Raf ne do e word aden Raf de ko tutu ne 9 de awo woness for you say opegana for yi ntia abrantie we ne Baker Vemewo said that the BB I see a friend freedom fighters be a Jimmy Sam freedom fighters be Ghana ye independence Sebio 1957 and ye independent and untina yam one was so bit to Captain Jimmy etumitina ho a support boys we say there is an some sort of freedom be somewhere to be gained. And almost start here. And there's a economic freedom of one freedom of didn't question. Some that Ghana mebunu say. Ghana bebunu be the entire want to me more brano and anado. A woman say ya the uko school se kosuya de o de koye wi no one more bra. Nanso ye nanado ntina one more bra. Eye no kresa oba ye share that the free education by se Kobi wo call ye wo say be udu ko trust be de konem de kotena fie nanso fa wo sombo ebo nanado. Now one thing one of my lecturers said people who are failures in life always find somebody to blame their problems on. Opa shade obi a one bo brebia no or excuses and a man could skuntia, and a man yes kentia, and a man to me on your way, and a man to me on your way, and I'm sound. And they always want to find somebody to blame so they can take consolation in say, oh, after all, Mekrano, Bramidri, a president to be nigh. Fast forward, they came to tell us so many things here. Nanado area, not Nanado, Odinisika Akoye. Moka say, baby, yes, Nanado Baba Ako, ya man of $5 million. Is it? Yeah. No, $25 million. I beg your pardon. Say on Fankoye painting contract. Now, that time, no, yeah, MPP for Ankasa, ye di ye ho bone, tamana ya boabia samoano mo no, omidi ye bone pa, adintia. Every government contract be a agency in Kano, and I say, baby, a ministry contract in the free banner. Say, as a sanko, we edit to that, meboa. Then, and I end this for government agency, edit $25 million contract, ma, a kufuado ba. Say on Fanko painted the street of Accra. Near Sebi. But some okay. We were not able to tell these people, okay, office bank and the issues our contract, no, they may Kufuadoba. It was never like that. Rather, a Kufuadoba not occur from company to company. Now, I was stressed. Oh, me pese me koye we omomwa me kakra. Wa wo pene no amanibi. Nanso, yenya same jamfia ene. Obi anane honam aye rokosopino ye kai no same ye kai same nkoko same choba ye kai no endra picture bi aye de kire me na wo hwe same demfi afono toto atoto ne second to atoso na me so oh yes money is sweet same demfi asabi on preduasa 2 years ago 3 years ago so wo ka kire ne say asabi on preduasa one ma aduane Ome aduane kura nsu nni aso kura na wontumi no enne kohwe na otena se yi asena ba me tutuntuma ade atonani ewie Ghana de so nkwase asem so pa ho na obi omo election no ye jana chese ye see you ye bekwa akodi wo ho na niama abanintine se na same demfi agege adamu style bi na Osha abranti animu mu bi ode to na say nkube ne de sra no na animu shem na me say oh wow these people will pay Ghana for na guru NDC for be so mu be pay to destroy somebody thinking say one what it afem they will never go unpunished. They would never go unpunished. Sami Demfi. He will never go unpunished. Abranti a woni ska o. Ene oye dollar man. Utwikas akese. Utwikas papa. Nenso in opposition and pro we could disca way, we could disca way, we could real way. The cocoon crofoso and the toton crofoso. Now, yes, oh, your phone sasha on sa nina and senum. A bra no more dream say Omenya Nanado, did in a tem. Omenya Baumia, did in a tem, almost say MPP, almost say it in no moon nimu say a baby bedua. San Semuya, one more car, one more day say MPP. They might come to power and they will be held to the same measure. And there, Omoba Bemi, Momayan Kanokre, and near me P. Omujin opposition car, yes, and Yana Dina, and the NDC is working back on all of them. Now, AB and Amedebe share program, just a few segments we are saying. Boy, Naka say me person me breaking it down. Me breaking it down. We are watching chair with me actually. Okay, also then how Ralph on TRC say Ubia Koka say Ibrahim Mahama akoto private jet kese pa dia odi abeka mebusu ya hono no See, you see, can kwa neko kuku for madinka catcher mo teacher for mon come anuntum. See, yeah, the airline dadano and airplane dadano, yeah, the bemamo, namo de emergency ambulance. Yanko.
So to me, say and you see some of the things. These are some of the things that when you talk about it, they will say, "Oh, Ralph there or NDC, Ralph there or you then." Tell me if on your kwasia in a wojene Ghana you come and ask me, say a private owned business. We know, say Ibrahim Mahama no the kind of business he does owns international recognition, owns African recognition.
Me pacho we no me breaking it down papa preko na me yare she ose wo a wo be kasa wo Ibrahim Mahama ne private jet na wakofa bia no we kwasea we jimifo adentia we jimifo a we ne say one Ibrahim Mahama company no international company internationally reputable company. Na obiya nim say oye internationally recognized. Me pacho ye papa Gabi Ochredako. Sorry say me de neighbor conversation we mo. Ye papa your friend is saying they are obeyari. Oh.
Oforiata.
There be a back on. Your own friend is saying.
Oh.
Asante, Nana Asante be there too. You made that say. The patrol, these were also private individuals. Now they are only affiliation. They say omune president no ya down for na so omune ne yebusuya. But sa kwasiye ya na saying yes say Ibrahim Mahama akotoka amano edi adana se ewo ne nkwasi adwuma wodi na omoti opposition can say Sabio nanado edi ni nuanom ahyehyehye ne amemu a omudidi ewo bra na these are private individuals omo private legal firm obi to say what's the name Gabi amebo ni din first okutono ankasa ne private company oyusu edi making sika eno ye one Asante bedi etuo Sabium Prediasa owo no ankasa ne private business na oye nanso
kind of data bank
what if I can't to a second they're not a finance minister and I don't even want to even go there. Let me just address this boy quickly. Kakrebi mame. Now Yembra Ekufuado Maneso. They had their private companies. Ebinimokraya de consortium and a formal year. Trese enyo money na enyo mo dia solely. Enunti ba obekai insumunam. Na Kevin Taylor aye ni yepi said your we adwe epudema Ghana. Ene kwasie aye friend Rafi. Any Oliver Baker we movokwasi ampeni a omote sa akaba no ese Ekufuado mane de se wo mukura company e ya ban e na diska amom e Ekufuado na awie ska de amom no mo de ye business. Gabi Ochredako was a lawyer before Nanado became president. Nelso yese Gabi Ochredako no sebio Nanado na awie ska e de amano e na onu anya no hotam. Obi a winima Asante bedi etu obi anim sa Asante bedi etu na onya mobo wi ase oye a well to do man na no awo no anensa no sika dada nenso na krofo we say we ye Nanado sebi ebusuani a into supo wuntumi ntombi because okoton ntos a uwi eska Nanado awi eska no de ahye udwa se koton ntos. This is what they did. And then Ralph beka kire yen say wo a onti ase say Ibrahim Mahama ye international and a private citizen. Ibrahim Mahama a private citizen. Enuhunti ono de se okokoto plane ana okokoto bibia we cannot query it, we cannot answer it, or we cannot ask for answers. But say Nana Akufo-Addo adamfo, Nana Akufo-Addo nia, Nana Akufo-Addo wofa ase, etumi koto bibi dia, eno de ye Nana Akufo-Addo ena ewie sika de ama no. Sa kwasia we ka kire wo Ghana babunu so no dwene wo ho. Ebra na MPP opposition. Every week be a demonstration okobi. Meboa. Demonstration na ense so ote say about time a ekọ wo kra so mo demonstration a o so no so timu bi onyem. And or did that wo Ghana babunu ne say ono raf no oniminyansa che wunti bua no na support ne nkwase adwuma ne nkwase demonstration no na Ibrahim Mahama ne John Dramani Mahama emra power na omuntumi be page onu nsi ye na wo papa koko na ode hwa no ye ntumi ntua papa koko ka emani nya bi ma mama ye di nkwase asem listening to fools like this aboa we ya sabi ohun ne to pepe sa boy we ye ne o run a boxer shorts to a bi tari mu we no no to me gina simpie so ehwe na nado anim edidi na nado atem edidi bawumi atem edidi samira atem edidi wo mo asabi ye party mpanifo no mu didi o matem adenti a yes na nado awie scam o ene eniama wo mo de to na nado so na nado awia omo baaye eye womo na akwakote om yete ha muka chese data bank ye krono ama wo ya ne hwe data bank so dada denina mu NDC for mu ni data bank ye djuma na nadu bedi ade a all of a sudden data bank eye demonic but mu ko peska de data bank e good munye scanning we the data bank e good. This is the stupid thing, the stupid raf indoctrinated fools to believe. Boy, we nko dware ntwitwi ne se ahomache na boy we afro video. Boy you, o ho anu afro video. Felix come online na we yanko, brane yanko. Te say jimie because opese o showmanship. Na Ibrahim Mahama, John Mahama ne NDC for say oh Ralph ye adwuma ma ye enne ampa eba ye reward no. Ralph wana sebe ne ntade mu pruka ni nika to atete ne hu fifire tantan ye ne ono otumi se suit eco parliament ende sa kwasia Ralph we be ka kire ye say Ibrahim Mahama play na wakoto ne de ye ntumi nka ho hwe because oye private citizen and oye private business aboa gabi o kire da ko oye government business asante be dey to oye government business insuomenam oye government business na nye private na so enam tumi a na mo pe bayi tumi a na mo pe de be jimi wo Ghana NDC fo abayifo tumi a na mo pe de be say Ghana shebre atete Ghana shebre nti mo ma ni luku se bi on prediasa Akufo-Addo sorry ano de nsa bu skem no de ama na busu ase mo nji nkodi nse no na mo ka asa nkwase asem no di papa na ni wie na mo de nse ayen yen ahwe pese ko de dia is unim omo ye so dumb to the point say unim say so far invest omo ready to budget you they are so foolish you see some party no wonder they will glorify people like Ralph omo Jimmy amayo mo cheke we ready to a budget we ready to State of the Nation's address. What does that tell you? Aketu the next State of the Nation's address and our budget here will be reading. Now you get ready akoye den akoto aba. The last State of the Nation's address any budget here will be reading. Now ya to aba wie ma ye new president if a government has changed. What's here? Ye dem kokon ketenkete da o. Ujimie okwasia say ye da o. Ene wudi akire ene yezu eyeza. Ena Ralph kwasi ampani na say be want to me nuare no wono ena dictate se bra fa wo to me wo youth no a wo bre no jai school na wo kono jai adwuma na wo pen twa no so na bra bedi me Ralph mechi na yenkoye den yenkonkoye demonstration ene ne benz no nyaaye ode watenem ye mu bi betna ha Ya mu bi betena ha. Ye kasa pamucho say hey. The ankrofo we ye ni na ye certain Ghana for mamunti omo. Me se preko we ogina ho ema obi bewu ye adan ya galamsey nti. Ene galamsey to etwa. When was the last time I said Ralph said okoye galamsey? Me Ralph. Me ne Ralph kasa yes. I say we makano wa hada. Ena me bisa and say every demonstration be a wujinem into what they are ye. In case that's the NDC ba na ye call demonstration obebe bia na. Or say or no, the only demonstration obey part of it a demonstration etia MPP any Akufo-Addo. And so from that day, and I'm a tear says, oh, and it's not focus a boy in the agenda, and some pay agenda. We empower this boy to speak foolishness to the ears of Ghanaians. Muntien kwasi asem no more.
Listen, where your continent here, if you are to mention 5 miners, our more chromia globally, obeboni di account.
Unit A, Debbie. A card. You, or say your boy Ibrahim. Or say Ibrahim Mahama, continent here, Africa, an African continent. Say ye pay miners here, and our mining companies here. You can 1 to 5 or say 1 to 6 here, or come home. Me pacho Mokai Sicilia dapa, and I'm with Fino. Nikunu ye den. Nikunu ye one of the topmost architects in the whole of Africa, not just West Africa. West Sicily buildings, and as a what draw buildings I can see Ebiwo Egypt, Tunisia, South Africa, all over, and a renowned away architect. Ye can't say Sicilia dapa, and to me, Massa Bibia Yera on almost a daddy. Nikununi Nubia. However, Ibrahim Mahama dear, so Okoto play now, Yamba justifies oh, or your international firm. But the MPP ni international firm no the do Jumadia. Only Mr. Gabriel Chidakon or firm or UK. Gabriel Chidakon or firm is it great? No, is it Grenada? No, but is it Grenada? Yeah, might be Grenada. Inti say Mahama for dia UK. But say MPP ni dia and the MPP sound kwasi ade no and a boys we ebedi in Ghana. Yanto ano so.
The mining company account, and you ask me how much is a private jet? Kwasia onyesika o PBS scanner mo chen ya mo de man no de de akoto.
Or say Ibrahim Mahama onyesika o PDS. Onyesika o PDS. Me pa cho PDS. Mama yankasa o. Sika hin e free mu ba ya ye che me pa cho mo fa metu dwane enhwe. And people listen to such a foolish idiot because Jumama NDC a more party akwasiampa fu ewum 1 million. Na semi akwasiampa fu 4 million. Eka hom. Party a enitema edema Ghana. Or say Ibrahim Mahama de or international. Data bank. A international ma NDC for crowd Jumada. Eda so the Jumen. What did Ralph and his almost sponsor no his stupid sponsors? Ralph and his NDC stupid sponsors. What did they say about that? And then okay. This time around, yeah, may it is first. No, we are going to match these guys. We are going to match them to the point say we shall make the system uncomfortable for them to even pick up a mic and say, "Who could not baby akokasa?" Or no, dear, Sebio say ne boss Ibrahim Mahama eto jetia is because international minor. But Keno for real ta onusukra international bank data bank. And yes, what did you be sick of? There be no work as I didn't crofusika there be. Or no, dear Sabio on to me po home frama. Nana Kufuadwa or no, or what companies are no what companies or no own niska. But Ibrahim Mahama, on one kasa numuto nanado abua ne pen. Or no top private jet there who deserve say sort of private jet. Mr. Boys we mumbe woo. Sometimes enye duabo me can okre natural because nanado no mo yempenifu. And then nam or tiny kwasi sika binimu kwaje. Say yam fanda ne Ghana for mebunu agene no. Sa oten hunu ede say no e hun sunsanso beba na bebre ni be yo wuo sa boys we no mo ebe gina mu ebe keka ne am enim the same penifo all because say ye pese ya ban ba power no bebre ebe wu mo de mo wa ha mo be say Felix wo kasa ebe ba enne otwi benz odin say you okay nti o medi di atem no nko yanko stick with the
private jet onye sika we e first sky train sky train amoka asem wo ye no na mwanye ebesi mle sika ne ye hu ye no enu
me pacho sky train ye ni na ye wa ha ne de ye papa ameye kumfinom edi omoko so omo edi say sika bi 2 million cedis bi mebo a akofa baby a nssefa na omo de omoko court me pacho ene case na ekusise obi nkan kire me pacho eye sky train na boy we enu ntu ogina so a odidi MPP fu atem no we be gina o sese yen kwasea ne mmoa no Godfred Mate, your stupid NDC brother is here insulting my party, so I'm also reciprocating, or I'm also giving him the same hit to his stupid party NDC that he works for and joins. What is good for the goose must be good for the gander, and it's that simple. That is what is going on here. So yes, I'm very all right. I'm very, very all right. Listen to this idiot. Skyline, me pacho or Sky Train, I can't see a. They claim say 2 million was misappropriated, according to them. 2 million was misappropriated. And omade e kumfinomo echo court. And I can say me person me bisa NDC for was a case na kusi saying. Omo wa be mu. Omo wa be mu. NDC na wa be mu. Sikabe no me yidi amaye from Sky Train. But opeso be didi atem to wa sheda cover Sky Train no e de be kasa. Yenko yenim.
Nungwa your friend is saying Kofia Nano to your friend is saying Nungwa barrier. A quina no mo ye no na mo enwie no enu mu ska no de mo tell na mo de man no de koye.
Me pacho e kwan yem fesika obi a we nyansani bia ma enye ne se Ralph oye nyansani wa Jimmy. Otie ma me nkyere wade onim de okakra ye tua ne ka o medina nkan kwase asem keke. Government kwan yem ma usika se jefa koye kwan da bi. Na waka se sika ye de koye nungwa akwan na amanye no mache. Onim nyansa ene yeso so sa nkwase afo we no so. Osi sika ye de koye nungwa no. Nungwa akwan no. Ono Ralph no sika ye de koye nu ena ya che. Na se sika ni bi na Ibrahim Mahama enya odi akoto private jet. Number 1, government contract say ye koye road. Ralph Jimmy Fue unsua de Ralph me ho kankan ye Ralph awenya akwase ampa fu di wachi. Number 1, yen Suezca $30 million, 30 million cedis. And farmer contractor say je na fa koye kwan right away. Yen ne sa. It's never done that way. But on tiase on to ne bo asinkusua. On konko hwehwem. Obebe be gina online. Na we didi atem kwa because obi akoka bibia etia ne boss wa wama ne benz nti sa dia Ralph obi akoka Ibrahim Mahama asem o kwana ko defend and we be gina ho and we defend now ye wa ha ye ntie bi o
To we na mo ye na mo nwie no eno sika no dia mo che
and na ya ba yi but say NDC for to motorway no so minim how true it is but choma mo Ghana na mo betumi confirm ama me motorway na ye start here no mate say NDC for ato aso according to Raf sika na na say ye de motorway na yan wie no ya chedi utie Patrick o say ya chedi na eye no bi and Ibrahim Mahama de ne share akọ nti ye baby say NDC for ba me patro ma kwaji sika foforo mo de continue project na nyansa na ye de kasa wa he enye emotions tieni pa Ralph say motorway na ye na yan wie no the motorway tema motorway ya yan wie no say sika no na yan MPP for ye wie a ya che ena Ibrahim Mahama age ne share ena odi akoto private jet nti any logical person bia baby say yo me pa cho motorway na mobile a moto aso no say ampase MPP for wie motorway ni sika because that is what they are lying to people and it's canomedy and the reason is omoba abem no omo kono na sika bia say dey adwuma bia no omedi to omodwen say sa na beye but omoba ye omo say omo to motorway no so enne me gidi se mo amo we Ghana mo be dia dance say motorway no yes ye den ye to aso me pa jo so ati ase na atwade o sika MPP for achedi sika MPP for edie eye den ena say sika na sebio MPP for edi no NDC for betumi de say sika na aba be den e ba beto a project so you see the odwen say o ka bibi o odwen say o ka bi Patrick odwen say o ka bibi manase yen MPP for but onim say he is incriminating and implicating on Ankasa self and the boss say omo yakwasiampa for omo nwene nko kan they don't think about the propaganda they do they just do it yan can do them ni yanko
ya onya ye no eno de ne dia kwakoto ye fa ne sen cathedral put me pese me
untumi nka cathedral sem kwasiampa ni ka wanu tum untumi nka cathedral sem meti so obi so betena ha be ka cathedral owo he Mate, you said it is better to buy a jet than to dig a hole as a cathedral. You are an idiot. And this is the reason why I will term you as an idiot. Me pacho, MPP as a government said they want to build a cathedral. And the NDC for say, yam pene ma yensi cathedral no because enya dia ehia Ghana say. Enya sa formula ni yankasa o. Ya di nyansa na ebe kasa wa. NDC for say, ye ndidi me dokno bo 5 CD. Eno hunti ye de yam pene ema yensi cathedral no. Ene nyame adom, nyame tie omompaibo. Ena yensi cathedral no. Inti senye beyi a senye beyi a eye NDC for a ade no wo se ehu hia inti wo mpene ema yensi ade na wo mpene ma yensi no yensi a wasan a bebe bebi sa se ade nti na yensi sa ade no wo ye beyifo obi afa na adwene mra o Patrick Messi ade we mpene ma ne ma mpene nti sa ade na mba sanka a victory for me say yentumi yensi cathedral na sanka NDC for bushiri but the same NDC ni bisa sa ade nti na wensi cathedral no cathedral na mpene ma mensi no o say bisa sa ade nti na mensi cathedral no wo beyifo enye politics sa ade na enye politics cathedral must start ye must can ofori ata diska mo de ne kwotena censorship meboa ena mo ankasa mo PIAC report ekogbubo omo okujato ablok aye ne se say gede say alatafo gede a omo de kwaje aware ne se gase beke kan kwase asem o parliamentary select committee so ekowi akire na ofori ata afa no ho edison yesi wo nwi eske bi amfa bibia mo se na ebi mo ntia ase ye be audit ena mo ma Deloitte here audit raw bipartisan a committee esanso ye den another audit and also lawyer ena mo ba abemu by the orders of the president of the land John Dramani Mahama mo sanso ye another audit And a John Mahama ba press conference back actually say every penny that was spent on the cathedral was legal. There was nothing wrong with it. And yamena mekaye. But NDC kwasi ampeni anadwene ni ho. O makwasie ya one more brother. The awaya ne se obese nkrofo de adidie. Eba be ka kire wo MPP ni ne we saw e say be wo babunu no. To stick with their stupid lies that they said against us. Their stupid lies. Cathedral now, one day cathedral is my baby. Sometimes I'm okay. Ukuja to broke sorry. On chichine sekra. No, the na sebi na no hun totro. No, the abetina piakre po kaya. Like the cathedral is my baby. The cathedral is my baby. Ukuja to broke one kawunya ni ye mosu de eja. Sebi. Bato Michael Jackson. Nka wunya ne ya nanka se bi brodu yi ana se nye brodu akora na wo de fa yi brode se bi brode be o wa yi na o de yi ya na de se bi bidie wo de atwu se abrokwa ntwitwi ne se utiwe kaka wura agi uti ni na afa o maame aseda ye nku asi ho abrokwa sori anopa anka obedware e de kaka wura nku ni bi be keka ni tirim na kaka wura na akono da bi o okokonkwase antokwa or time be a beshe ni mu anadwo ni nti no obese obetena parliament wo bakra na no ntotro no de abetena no kankwase asem NDC for 5 days. That's why I say mo Jimmy na men to sebe NDC I say open party and emu nkrofo na Jimmy pa wo ma adwene wo for mo NDC because they are easily say a party be o kan ya no mo so cathedral na mo de call you already 5 days am de interrogate can operator no mo nya bibi amfantai no eno nkoda nchen ya ye audit no so anya den audit no so say there is nothing wrong. My second audit nothing wrong. My babemu my bipartisan audit nothing wrong. Then 4 times, the last time was when the Attorney General came and said say there is nothing. Chere cathedral. Into one who say ne. Attorney General, what is that? Oka cathedral? Maybe so. If indeed there's a case to follow in the cathedral, why is the Attorney General not giving us an update on the cathedral? Maybe some. Obi Wahebia cathedral, say a project and a scandal about home. And every project, every time they are I never be catch and they are oriented. Adenti we end this ni na nyansa wo trima. No we bisa say cathedral ya kwato abayeka cathedral. Ya ba bem ya cathedral. Aden na yem penifo no come announcement ya. Say no ma jai cathedral na bo. Adenti ya. Aden and end this for jai cathedral na bo because there was nothing there. And until you see be the SML which they are going to lose again. And until can offerata and answer questions. Questions will be to me answer online. He doesn't have to be there present. Unless say what charge and say my charge also where we are we bra say ni say no nipa ne so womba. What say near maybe sikabi won tia see intino ombra no mechiri mu keke. That is all. That is all. So how can he talk about the cathedral? You can't talk about the cathedral.
Kwasi ampeni se onye sika wen onye sika e won kwasi sika mu wi aye sika ye de ma obi mu so mo nkonko dua eburo entam feeding school feeding program no na o mo ndia no eno ho bi e no de
yo ye pe kwasi a ye man discuss won koye project ya went to me amfan ya John Dramani Mahama ne na ban NDC 1 Raf utie se MPP for ye kwasi afo a na ye ya kronfo a ye pe kronfo a ye de adwuma ma ne niska ma ne se won koya went me an ya John Mahama ko so di ade ansa na sebe na na do ye bi di ade ndi se na na do ye kronfo a John Mahama e na kire no krono bo one na yire Lodina e na kire no krono bo Rafuti me say na mo screenshot to sa de we na mo fa ma no we say na mo can screen record na mo fa come Rafu ma me se na na do ne MPP for ye nkwase afo akronfo a na ndi kwase akronfo a edin kan ba Ghana ansa na na do no mo ba no John Mahama 2013 to 2017 because some no din kan ba ye Omo no mo beto staglime ane ya di 200 million raf kwase a means ya de minim fact 200 million staglime project omu free so no na omo edimu 197 million utie 197 million ye wa ha na ebeka kire se iso photo se mo kai raf okay enti ye pe wo mo ya kromfo a ye mo musika so mo fa nkoye Ghana adwuma omu kodi no mo fa nya adwuma John Mahama ne na ban at the first one so se kwase bi sie bi wo ba bi a ese so mo na ebi nka sie mo kwase first utie ebio John Dramani Mahama nkwani obi a ye diska man say seska we ye hwe wukuro mu a hia wo hododo fakọ gugu omuko mu ma omo na okodua nnua aboy wo se ye de na ye se den ye koye school feeding program for farm and ye diska there is no evidence to even that yembisa rap say eyi be mu na ka say ye bema say bio school feeding for efu ana omo se omo nkoye no omo akodi it's never like that meanwhile abotre okay enti sebio raf say ye po bi a wo mu di nka be ya akwasiampafo be gbo akwasiampafo mra NDC fo ne di nka ba mu first me di nka boss agreement ma bossika ye de man say won fe nkodua nnua e wo no ani krom a odi ye sebe ono ankasa kofa say o se one day oni lodina e kwaji omani na omoji omani na ne koba ne se esese omonante kakra omotu omani a en confirm ene ye de nom Guinness na ebema ne do ne kon enu nti ono Mahama e de koto mpanifu ehwe Ghana so anim se ba bi ya edu no moma yenya en confirm eti Ralph ye pekwase bi a na ban ye de sikama ne se won fa nkon yen en confirm no yanti omonka besi na eye NDC aban wo waban wo Ralph kwase na ye wo waban se ye po bi a woji sika so wo de koye adwuma nanso wodi a ye huhu mfaso a eye wo Ralph kwase ene won krofo a ye from NDC a ho omo ne di se adwuma
koye visa scandal sikane dia mu cheye na mo de ma omo no se yes mu bienu nia ye se mo ya ade ba ko we nya wa ha no wate no wa ma we bi na we sune wa ma we bi enti anu mu
visa scandal mo kai say CID for investigative visa scandal. What was the verdict? Mokai. You see, omu wieska, and they are blatantly telling Ghanaians say you wieska intimon come anuntum because yes, we have mamu instances are young years to so be this car. Mufra bem 1 year to 2 years. Ni one match is with this cabin to no more than $1 credit abroad buy. He said, I buy none. And now it is only in ND, but it is normal. Inflation above from as I say, nipa to me tardy. A nipa ne say you to me talk. And ye Jimmy. Mo amusu economics kakra wa. I say me won't say mama. Inflation above from. Prices are dropping, but I can't buy. Logic be no. Oni adofo awuti me. Ti asem we umbi. Mama ye nwene dia adwene NDC fo amasa akwase ampafo we pese sebe ye e wo Ghana. Ebra oman ni mu eden asai oman na tete apansam. Eniama bo eden. Me kodwa so a mitumeto. Dollar e wo soro. Niama bo wo soro inflation bibia wo soro. Me kwa mitumeto. Dollar abafom. Inflation abafom. Uko dwa so adwadifo say ye ntade. Ubisa won we di dwa so so mu niska o me bekwa nti se wonye kwasea sabium preduasa. Onyo obi a wadwene nya adwuma. Oman a niama ne bo eden no utumi to obi di ye e de hwe wabusua. Ene oman a niama na abafom ba untumi ntobi mfa ntwe wabusua mu de na nka betena. Mama wo se mama ya ma ye ho kwan ma NDC fo eba be dada yen akachre say ene see amount 2,500 as koko kriani a yaboa wo pa. Now I learned something be say Osha article 71 emolument here. One of the things then say omo market to any so all the time so market to akosoro. Politicians now more article 71 or no untumi ntina ketu yaso de bia na ketu ya necessary kosoro but o si wu kriani no ono aban na o ka se bra na onso wu kriani ase no ontumi mfa ne konkoje ka ma enu nti sa sika na ese so ono aban na kohwehwe ma no tua wu kokoo ni sika ma no ontua nti wate wu kokoo so na wo suffer the pain anka onya no help ma o san ahye wabufuo ikuro na eda onan no o san ede meko ohyemu akire wo se ono no wonyansa sabio echen wo enu nti wo kuani a sebe unim fertilizer wo calculate u bibi afefefe unim nyansa na unim 1 and 2. Yes, unim left from your right enu nti ono ma 2,500. Say 2,500 no and you better change will be a almost 3,100. And so ene ekuafo na ya hye de tue ska ma omo se omo mra ra no meka se na ekuafo no yate aban na ase ene yate aban na ase no monhwa ade o se ekuafo no se ene okofa 2,000 na offer 3,100 Ghana cedis na o de to ho na woka chene se ontu su ba ko no mfa obekwa kotu so 3,100 tio kriani na NDC ni ati ni sika so ni production cost ana kwan ofa so de ye eka ba ko ekosoro ne ka adoso eni amabo aba fom ontumi nya bi nto ana ontumi nya sika na ono edi akoyede edi akotobi kriani ni sika na ya te so aba 2,500